you achieved something recently. Maybe it was a grade, a job, a purchase you saved up for, and for a moment, it felt good, then nothing. You went back to feeling exactly the same as before, maybe even a little worse. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're experiencing one of the most documented and least talked about features of the human brain. And once you understand what's actually happening, you'll never look at your own happiness the same way again. Let's start with a rat. In 1954, neuroscientists James Olds and Peter Milner accidentally discovered something that changed how we understand the brain forever. They implanted an electrode into a rat's brain, specifically into a region now known as the reward circuit. They gave the rat a lever. Every time it pressed the lever, it got a tiny pulse of stimulation. The rat pressed it 7,000 times per hour. It ignored food, it ignored water, it pressed the lever until it collapsed. That circuit, the one the rat was hijacking, is the same circuit running inside your head right now. It's called the dopamine system. And it was never designed for the world you live in. Your brain evolved over hundreds of thousands of years in an environment of scarcity. Food was rare. Pleasure was rare. So your brain developed a system that made you feel incredible. The moment you found something good, to make sure you'd remember it and go back for more. The problem is that the system was calibrated for a world where good things were hard to find, not a world where you carry a device in your pocket that delivers unlimited food, entertainment, validation, and stimulation on demand, 24 hours a day. Every notification, every scroll, every like, your dopamine system fires and fires and fires until it stops firing as hard. This is called desensitization, and it happens slowly, invisibly, until one day, the things that used to make you happy just don't. Not because you're depressed, not because something is wrong with your life, but because your brain has recalibrated to expect a level of stimulation that nothing in real life can actually match. A conversation with a friend feels slow. A walk outside feels boring. Sitting quietly feels unbearable. Your brain has been trained to expect fireworks, so everything else feels like nothing. But dopamine is only part of the story. There's a second force at work, one that operates completely below your awareness. It's called hedonic adaptation. Here's how it works. Imagine you get a raise. Big one. Life-changing money. For the first week, you feel amazing. By week 3, it's normal. By month 2, you've adjusted your lifestyle to match it, and you feel exactly the same as before. Psychologists have studied this in people who won the lottery. Within 1 year, their reported happiness levels returned to almost exactly what they were before winning. The same effect works in reverse. People who became paralyzed in accidents reported happiness levels nearly equal to the control group within a year of their injury. Your brain is constantly resetting your baseline. Whatever you have becomes the new normal. Whatever you don't have becomes the new target. This is why buying things never works for long. Why getting the job you wanted doesn't feel the way you imagined it would, because you imagined it from your old baseline. By the time you arrive, your baseline has moved. Psychologists call this the arrival fallacy. You spend months or years telling yourself, when I get there, I'll feel it. When I finish this, things will be different. When I have that, I'll finally be okay. And then you arrive, and your brain shrugs. Because it's already looking at what comes next. The arrival fallacy is why high achievers are statistically no happier than average people. Why some of the most successful people in the world privately describe feeling nothing. Not sad, not happy, just nothing. Now add one more layer. Your brain didn't just evolve to seek reward, it evolved to compare. For most of human history, your reference group was small. Maybe 150 people in your tribe. You compared yourself to them, found your place, and got on with surviving. Now your reference group is 7 billion people, and the algorithm specifically surfaces the most exceptional ones, the most beautiful, the wealthiest, the most talented, and delivers them directly to your eyes every hour. Your brain is running ancient comparison software on an impossible dataset, and the result is a persistent, vague feeling that everyone else is further ahead, that you're behind, that you're missing something. That feeling has a name in psychology: social comparison distress. And it spiked in direct proportion to social media use. So let's put it all together. Your dopamine system has been overstimulated until ordinary life feels flat. Your hedonic adaptation resets your happiness baseline. Every time something good happens, your arrival fallacy keeps moving the goalpost. And your comparison instinct tells you that everyone else has already crossed it. This is why you can look at your life objectively fine, maybe even objectively good, and still feel a quiet, persistent emptiness you can't quite explain. You're not ungrateful, you're not weak, you're a human brain running in an environment it was never built for. So, what do you actually do? The research is surprisingly consistent. The things that durably increase reported life satisfaction are not achievements, possessions, or status. They are genuine connection with other people, having a sense of purpose that extends beyond yourself, doing things that are hard enough to require real effort, and deliberately limiting overstimulation. So your baseline can reset. That last one is the uncomfortable one. Your brain cannot feel the pleasure of ordinary things while it's being hit with extraordinary stimulation every hour. You have to let it recalibrate. Boredom, it turns out, is not the enemy of happiness. It might be a prerequisite for it. The most content people aren't the ones who have the most options or the most achievements. They're the ones who've trained themselves to actually feel what's already there. That's harder than it sounds, but it's also the only thing that actually works. If this made you think about your own life differently, subscribe. Every week, we explain the real forces shaping how you think, feel, and see the world, with nothing but a pencil